Hello, dear students. Now I wanted to discuss about the lesson on national prejudices, which is written by Oliver Goldsmith. This is my second session on the same lesson. So here I want to talk to you about the concept of universal man, the citizen of the world. So let us have a recap of the previous session here, whatever we have learned. As Oliver Goldsmith has said about nationalism and his point of view towards nationalism, and also there is one question: is it possible to love other communities, other countries of the world, or citizens? Um, So this is a very crucial point of view he is discussing here. It is possible to love communities and citizens of different nations of Europe along with his love for his native country? Yes, this is what he wanted to say. So learning objectives, what you will learn now. Students learn the difference between countryman and citizen of the world. Okay, what's the difference? And to inculcate the real human value among the students. That's the objective. What's the outcome? Students understand that being the natives of the country is not great, but to be the general inhabitants of the globe, because we have to think and feel that whoever living under the sky, we are equal, we are one. Second point, the students might identify themselves with the world and not only with the country. Definitely. Okay, I'm not an Indian, but I'm a universal man. This is what everybody should think. Right, this is the outcome. Contents. So, what are the contents? The slides I have made here. A countryman versus a citizen of the world. The concepts which are binary opposites, right? Second one, the gentleman's vulgar prejudices. The gentleman who comes in the lesson, a character. Next one, Oliver Goldsmith tried to explain us through the symbols of plant and a tree. And the last one is a conclusion. Right. Gentleman's vulgar prejudices. So what happened here? Oliver Goldsmith, right? Uh, so once he was sauntering across, and he was visiting the coffee shops. So at one time, he met, okay, some of the gentlemen. So in the coffee shop, right? So what happened there, right? So there he met a gentleman, who was talking to a group of gentlemen about the different characters of the other European nations. Somehow he's a very good speaker, but whatever the points, the things he was speaking, according to Oliver Goldsmith, it is not right. So Oliver Goldsmith, he was a silent listener in the beginning, right? So then, so look at the arguments he made, because we have seen uh, in a movies or in a TV, right? There are many foreigners or many faces we have found. So we cannot judge everyone. But what happened to this English gentleman? He was speaking against many of the European people, right? So what he said, he declared that Dutch. So Dutch people, they were parcel of avaricious wretches, and the French people, they are set of flattering sycophants. The Germans were drunken sots and beastly gluttons, and the Spanish people, they are proud, haughty, and surely tyrants. So they are the negative qualities he is speaking about. Okay, he speaks about Dutch, French people, Germans, and Spanish. Right, all are negative qualities. He never find a single positive character of these men. But at last he said that bravery, generosity, clemency, and in every other virtue, virtue means the good qualities, is only for of the English gentleman. So who excelled in all the world. So do you think is it right? So this is the English gentleman's argument about the different characters of Europeans. So as Oliver Goldsmith was a silent listener, he was forced to speak there. At that moment, he was very angry, right? So when he listened these comments on different nations of the different citizens of the Europe, so he couldn't tolerate these things here. So he thought that it's a pseudo patriotism, pseudo patriotism. So if you love your country, it's good. But why do you hate other countrymen? That's a big question here. So he gave a counter argument because Oliver Goldsmith also he traveled around the world, around the Europe. He has seen many other men. He has seen Dutch, okay, Spanish people, Germans, okay. Uh, he may not think like this gentleman, right? That's why this is a counter argument for him. When Oliver Goldsmith speaks here, maybe look at a very serious condition there. Maybe nobody likes him because though he was living in England, how can he talk like this? Because everybody was very happy. They were very proud to be an Englishman, and they have given a very good applause for the English gentleman who commented on other people. Right, but now he was speaking against Englishmen as they felt at that moment. So, but Oliver Goldsmith was very clear about his views. So he introduced the words called common man and uh, a citizen of the world, right? So what is the gentleman's idea of identity? So how could we identify ourselves as a common man or a gentleman? What we think, right? So here the gentleman who was infected by the idea of nationalism. Yes, definitely it is a disease. Right. So last point, pretending to be patriot for a self gain. So why he is talking like this? Only praising the good qualities of the Englishman, and then he was blaming other nation citizens here. So maybe he is. It is for the self gain. Yes. If a philosopher, if he talks about this identity, maybe his point of view is totally different. As I said. So, because philosopher thinks that he not only belongs to a particular country, but he belongs to the whole world. Yes, that is a philosopher's point of view. The concept of universal man. Modern time, common man's point of view uh, is very rare because now we are living in the global world. Everybody has a contact with other foreigners or the other countrymen, uh, offline or online, right? So through these medias or social network websites here. So how can we think like this? No, it's not possible. How difficult to identify oneself as a member of a grand society. Okay, grand society means yeah, the whole world. Okay, without having any prejudices about other countrymen, we should love our own country. This is what he wanted to say. And what is the symbol here? The plant, the tree. Okay, there is a natural love towards our own country. Should not harm other country. Yes, true. We are born in a particular country. It's natural that we love our country as we love our mother. Right, because she has given birth to us, yes, and we this country where we have born, which gave a shelter for us. Right, everything given by the nation. It's natural, but why should you hate other people, other nation people? So one's love may not become hatred towards other countrymen. This is very dangerous. Okay, prejudices is like a poison. Okay, if you, the growth of a natural branches leads to hatred. Yes, if you poison that prejudice, it will grow. It will turn into a hatred. You will have a grudge against other countrymen if they make some mistakes, right? So maybe they are the coincidences, but you have a prejudices, and if somebody has made a trouble to you, then you think that so they are like this. No, maybe it was a coincidence. That's why don't feed poison to the tree of prejudices. Okay, so these prejudices will spoil us. Okay, let me conclude this lesson. Here again, the same question: is it possible to love our country without hating other countrymen? Answer this question, right? Defending on the laws and enjoying the liberties of a country is a duty, right? So when we are living in a country, we should abide by the laws and we enjoy our liberties, right? So that is, we have liberties and also we have the duties for a country where we are living. To feel oneself as a citizen of the world is a heroic attitude. So definitely, if you love everybody who's living under the sky, so what is the harm in it? Yes. So here I conclude, and also one thing to remember, as the English gentleman said, there are many negative qualities about other nations of the world, right? But so can you think the same? Okay, if you know other countrymen, if you have met some of them, about can you say about some of the qualities of them? So, is it possible to say some negative about these people? Okay, it's very difficult. So, Oliver Goldsmith has seen good qualities in the same people. For example, he says that Dutch were more frugal, industrious. French more temperate, more polite. Germans more hardy, patient of labor, fatigue, very hard workers. And Spaniards, they were staid, sadder than English comparatively. So, because they are, these are the qualities he has seen, but that English gentleman has seen only the negatives. But Oliver Goldsmith has seen the positive qualities in a English, sorry, European nation nationalist. Okay, Germans, Spaniards, Dutch, everybody. So this is a point of view because he thinks like a philosopher. Right, got it. What I said. So here I wanted to so explain you the point of view of Oliver Goldsmith. Okay, thank you very much. Here I have five questions, multiple choice questions from the session 2 on national prejudices. The first question is, according to the author, the philosopher is a citizen of dash. Okay, according to the author, the philosopher is a citizen of. Okay, think and answer this question. A. England. B. World. C. Spain. D. France. What's the answer? Answer is yes, definitely citizen of the world. Let me go to the second question. What are the opportunities to get relief from nationalistic prejudices? Okay, because maybe everyone or any one of us may have the prejudices about our own nation or other nations. So how can we get the opportunity? What are the opportunities? Right. First one, fighting with the foreigner. Is it right? Two, B, spreading infectious disease in other nations. Okay, is it right? C, traveling around the world. D, string operations in neighboring country. So in four options, so think about the perfect answer for the question. What are the opportunities to get relief from nationalistic prejudices? Answer is traveling around the world. Then only you will understand each and every one wherever you have traveled. Third question, to love one's own country. So is option is unnatural, pretense, natural, or unnecessary. Answer is to love one's own country is a Natural. Yes, it's quite natural. Let me go to the fourth question. What is required for the healthy growth of a patriotic symbol of tree? What is required for the healthy growth of patriotic symbol of tree? So we have discussed about poison tree. Right. First question, remove bastard sprouts, cut all the branches, C, uproot the tree, B, burn the tree. So how can we grow a healthy tree? Right. So remove bastard sprouts. So fifth question and the last one. Someone who seems like a patriot but is not a genuine patriot is called as. So who is just opposite of a patriot? A, sycophant, B, avaricious, C, tyrant, D, pseudo-patriot. These are the qualities we referred in the text. Okay, answer is for the question, someone who seems like a patriot, looks like a patriot, but is not a genuine patriot. Who is called as? Answer is pseudo patriot. Answer is D. Right. So here I conclude with the session 2. Thank you very much.